Good scrum there from the Highlanders. Nice perfect platform. Watkins puts the ball out straight to Nanai. Heads out to Mike Maloney. They're looking for Nico Leonard on the wing. Looks like he's got some space. Try scored right off the bat in the corner, but for Nico Leonard.
So that is a dream start. I know the Highlanders have a lot of pace out wide. The game plan was to keep the ball in hand, and they find their Stormer. That's a little bit of a pun, seeing as he was a member of the Stormers. Set up Nico Leonard, who just celebrated his birthday. But that I do want to say, I think the Highlanders are going to get a lot of love. I would imagine the Brazil team is going to look at and put a lot of pressure on Milani Nanai after his past 2 games for the Highlanders club, which leaves a danger man like Nico Leonard out in space.
You don't want to leave him alone. Well, we have a moment there as Maloney sets up for the kick. I'll read through the starting rosters for the Vancouver Highlanders. Front row consisting of Connor O'Flaherty, Jacob Bossy, Cole Kelly. Second row with Carl Hunger, Caden DeGood, Saba Shibatse.
There it is. Who has actually been to 2 World Cup setups. I'll go through this. These are my guys. Joe Locke, Wales is the pride of Wales. Relmu Wilson Valdez from UBC. Reed Watkins from SFU and Okotoks, and the Hartford Rugby Club in the States. James Biss from UBC. Nico Leonard from UBC Old Boys. Giuseppe Dutois from Trinity Western, as well as the Miami Sharks. Milani Nanai from the Blues. Happy birthday, Milani. Deshaun Bowen from James Bay, and Mike Maloney from the Capilano Rugby Club.
Well, thank you very much. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Reed Watkins from the Burnaby Lake Rugby Club, my home club.
I know, I should have. I missed out on that. So
okay. It wasn't in my notes.
It's the nerves. It's the nerves.
Fair enough. The Brazilian lineup is Levi Marino, Leonardo Souza, and João Talamini in the front row. Renato Santos and Kaui Guimarães at second row. Yarli Santana, Meiki Lemes, Pedro Aparecido in the back row. A halfback combo of Guillermo Oliveira and Gustavo Pompeo. Sergio Luno and Andre Santana on the wings. Rafael Hollister and Victor Silva in the centers, with Robson Moraes at fullback. So that's your starting lineups. Kicks into Joe Locke, takes it cleanly. Good defense from Brazil, pushes them backwards. So Reed Watkins will be looking to dig the ball out of there. Probably going to Maloney for a clearance kick. Maloney's got a boot on him. Maybe not quite the kick he wanted, but it's going to do the job, that's for sure. Gets it out in between the 10 and the 15, bounces out of bounds, so it'll be the Brazil's line out, close to half.
It's a friendly roll right there for Mike, and honestly, it looks like Brazil's trying to, again, hang that high ball up and put a lot of pressure on the Highlanders forwards. Joe Locke with a good take, but again, Brazil bringing immense amounts of pressure, trying to keep the Highlanders team in their end and kick the ball back to them. We'll see how this line out goes.
Cleanly taken there from Brazil. Ball out to the Pompeo. Wrapped up nicely in the centers there by Joe Locke. Big prop crashing through. Good cover tackle. Brazil on the attack now. Ooh, Leonard takes it over and obliterates the guy who was supposed to get the pass. Ooh, flying in. Julian Zussman, the ref, says it's going to be a knock on. James Biss out to Giuseppe Dutois, now wide to Deshaun Bowen. Picks it up off the ground. Great pickup by Deshaun Bowen. Carl Hunger there looking to protect the ball. Watkins again having a little trouble getting that ball out. There's a brilliant player on the field.
Lots of space out wide here.
Ball's into big Caden DeGood, recently involved in the Canadian program. Didn't unfortunately get the cap, but was involved with the team that was in Ottawa. And where was the other game? Ottawa and where?
Ottawa and Ottawa.
Ottawa and Ottawa, both in Ottawa.
Nico Leonard on the wing. Highlanders looking to get that ball wide. You see Milani and I hand up out wide. He's looking for that ball out in that space. He's trying to put the pressure on the fringe, on the edge for the Brazilian team.
Penalty called there at the breakdown.
Again, slow ball. It's probably not what the Highlanders are looking for. I know Reed's probably looking for a little bit of a cleaner platform, but they do a good job just getting the ball out to their danger man out wide. I think that's probably where the advantage lies with this Highlanders team.
Definitely. They got some speed out there. Nico Leonard and Deshaun Bowen both finish. Both look like they just took a break from working out to put the jersey on, hit the field today.
Well, I know both of them are wearing youth small jerseys, so that might actually add into it. Myself, I like to wear a XXL just to hide my curves.
I like to wear long sleeve cotton, big thick collar. Great when it rains.
Great take there by Carl Hunger. Look to build the maul platform. Brazil known for a big pack. You see Giuseppe Dutoit tightening up. He's going to hit the maul. They have some forward momentum here.
It's spinning. They're going back to that corner. Looks like a try has been given.
And this is a dream start for the Highlanders. Again, their maul hasn't been as effective as I think they all want it to be in the forward group. They have the weapons to make it quite effective, but again, Brazil is known for being a little bit more of a physical team, especially in their national setup. They are known for their maul, they're known for their scrums, but the Highlanders just making them look human right now.
There you go. The Highlanders put out a pretty big pack. Certainly South American teams known for the set pieces. But yeah, Highlanders really stepped up today. There's some good work in the lineups there from Carl Hunger, which give a shout out to the Hunger family watching there from Montreal. His Brad brother and sister Audrey, and Robert and Monique, his mom and dad. Wanted me to just put a little shout out and say hi to them. So thanks for the support.
Carl, good family man, Carl Hunger. Again, this back row they also have is pretty dynamic. Though short, they are quite heavy. I do know Joe Locke has, he wouldn't want me to say it on stream, but he has extensions in. As
Really?
Maloney is going for points here. Flags
Kick
go
is
up.
in.
We'll see where they look to target. I imagine they're going to probably try to hang this just outside of the 22 and put the pressure on the Highlanders team where they can't exit straight out of bounds. But we will see how they line up. It looks like they're splitting some of their forwards, so it could go either way. Yeah, he shifted his hips.
Definitely going towards the shade. Nice kick, nice and high. Giuseppe Dutoit is going to take that. Bounces backwards into the hands of Carl Hunger. Watkins going to go back to Maloney, try to put it deep, maybe find a touch after the bounce.
They're going to play it out.
Going wide. Nanai wide to the Bowen. Oh, no. Bowen can't reel it in. Brazil has it.
An impressive back roll and back play by Bowen.
That was a big run here from
see what Brazil looks to do. Milani Nanai tying a shoe in the backfield. The Highlanders team known for their big line speed, big pressure, trying to bring that outside in defense to put a lot of pressure on these attacking teams. Oh!
Could not get the pass to hand there. So we'll come back to another scrum.
You see the Highlanders group deploying an interesting tactic. You know, most teams are looking to clear their zone when they're just under pressure in the 22, as Cole Kelly takes a little bit of a breather. The old prop trick, they call it. I've never done that myself. But they're trying to play wide. And again, I've already spoken at length, and I'm sure we will mention them again. The backfield for this Highlanders group is quite strong. And anytime you can get Milani Nanai in space, let me tell you, I've seen him step somebody in a very, very, very thin hallway. Thin, skinny, but he's got footwork for days, and I imagine that's the game plan, just to try and get him on the outside of the 13, put the pressure on this outside center to make a decision. The Brazil team's going with an interesting defensive setup here where they have two very tight, one wide on the winger, two in the backfield, and one hanging on the blind side. You'd look to maybe bring Milani on a dummy line, try and get them in motion. We'll see if the ball goes straight to Giuseppe Dutoit here.
Another good scrum for the Highlanders. To Leonard all by himself on the short side.
Oh, what an offload.
It's Valdez or Wilson Valdez?
Relmu
Wilson
with
Valdez, yeah.
He's got pace for days. You don't expect it from such a tall body. Quick turnover here. Brazil looking to play.
Well, one of the Highlanders, might be Watkins has a hand on it. That's going to be a penalty.
That's Saba Shubatse
Saba
right
Shubatse.
through the middle of the ruck. Unfortunate, but you can tell again the Highlanders looking to put a lot of pressure, trying to unsettle this Brazilian team. They've traveled over from Brazil. They might be dealing with some jet lag. I don't know where they're staying, but again, this is the Highlanders' home turf, and they look comfortable. But I think they're just trying to put so much pressure. Oof. Just missing touch here. Oh, they've got lots of space to play wide. Leonard goes to the boot.
Great kick. Going to be a line out just around the 10-meter.
Can't complain about that kick. That's Nico Leonard. What can't he do? Well, probably wear a medium shirt with his arms, but again, we'll see if the Highlanders opt to kind of pressure this line out. I imagine this Brazilian team, from their international experience, maybe they're looking to go with a four-man. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a maul. They are going to pressure Carl Hunger at the front. Great pressure. Brazil on the back foot already here. Joe Locke making a mess of that ruck.
No, Locke comes up with it. That's Watkins in. He's got Leonard on one side. Saba Shibatz. Is it Shibatzi?
Shibatse.
Shibatse. Okay, good. I almost have it right. Apologies. Is there any Shibatse family members watching at home? Highlanders throwing the ball a little loose around there. I think they need to tighten it up.
Probably not the kick they were looking there, but great follow-up there by James Biss. A floating pass, a lot of pressure on this Brazilian team. Oh, and that's gone forward.
Yeah, it's going to come back to the scrum.
Brazil look very unsettled right now with this pressure that this Highlanders team is bringing. Again, this is a very hard type of defense to play where you're always looking to get that front foot, but once you start building that pressure, it's unless you're finding those seams on attack, it's a nightmare to play against.
Yeah, well, the Highlanders putting pretty good pressure onto Brazil. Brazil being forced to try to force something to make it happen. You're down 14-0, 11 and a half minutes in. You know, it's time to make something happen, but Highlanders defense been swarming and prevented them from getting any set plays off, essentially. So.
And they're not giving them any time to get a break. They're looking to play out. They're not looking to go to any type of set piece moves, which would, again, this Brazilian team is a bigger pack, and you wonder if this is a game plan from Coach Tom Larish and Coach Bill Chamberlain, where they just want to try and get this Brazil team playing and tired.
Yeah. Do you know when Brazil got into town, Jake?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't have to pick them up, unfortunately. I believe they had a bus. I think they might be in Burnaby. They might be at SFU. That was where Germany was. But I know that some of these Brazilian players were in the squad against Belgium. They just had a big win over Belgium recently. But like you said at the top of the show or the game,
Welcome to
this
the show.
yeah, exactly. This is an inexperienced, a younger, more towards a development team. So you could also wonder how much time have these athletes spent together as well, whereas this Highlanders group has been training together 4 days a week for about 3 months, and they're looking to hit their peak now.
Yeah. Now, Jake, obviously you're part of the Highlanders setup here, part of the team. This is the first game that you haven't been a part of theirs. By the way, for those of you guys watching at home, Highlanders defeated the Canadian Selects team 44-33, Barbados 44-12, and then Germany just recently, 2 weekends ago, 30-26. Is this the field you guys normally train on, or do you guys usually train on the Capilano's upper field there?
We are lucky enough to use the Klahani main pitch. We've been, again, because we're playing a little bit backwards, but you like to see the vision from Biss, trying to get it to Leonard outside, and he's corralled into touch. But yeah, we are lucky enough to train on the main pitch. I've actually been one of the main crew who's been lining this pitch. It's honest work, but someone's got to do it. And we've moved up to the top field recently just to try and preserve this pitch. Again, it's a whole year of Caps rugby. There's so many teams that operate over here. A great club. It's hard to kind of grow grass in the summer. I guess that's not usually when they're trying to. It's not growing season.
No, it's spring, I think, is when it is growing season.
We'll see what Brazil tries to do off this launch. I think they're probably going to try and get that ball to the 12 or 13 and hit in the middle.
Back. Oof. Taken by Jacob Bossy. He's a big man.
Sneaky athlete, Jacob Bossy.
Oh, that's great work over the ball. Brazil may have turned that over, and yes, they did.
That is the one risk when you have that overthrow. Bossy with great reactions, a good speed and good carry, but you're a little bit isolated. Everyone's focused on that lineup, and Brazil able to capitalize over the ball quickly.
That's the problem when you go to the back. If it's an overthrow, it's open season.
And Bossy's great in open season. He's an on-field hunter, some would say.
Yes. Taking a page from Andrew Quatrain there in the Canada game versus
Romania?
Romania. That's right. He scored 2 tries. He's not from the back of a lineup.
Bossy is a sneaky athlete. He might not look like it, but that guy's got some toto. He can move. I would say he might be faster than some of the backs. Not going to name the backs. A great line out. Taken at the back. They're looking to maul.
Yeah. Nice out the back pass. Can't corral it in.
This Brazil back line is really just struggling in the margins on the outside. The set piece move wasn't too terrible, wasn't not effective, but they're just kind of getting gummed up a little bit in that outside channel.
They are. We talked about earlier, possibly cohesion being an issue with the Brazil team that has not been together that much. Just looking here in the background, or the back of their lineup there. The number 9 and the number 11, both from the same rugby club at home, the Sao Paulo Athletic Club, but everyone else in their back line kind of from different clubs. One from Jacare, one from Pasteur, one from St. Joseph Rugby Club, and one at the University of Surrey over in England.
Right when I saw England beside his name, I wanted to do an English accent, but for any of our British viewers at home, I will hold off on that, as the feed is for the Highlanders. A big blindside here. Relmu, again, he's a sneaky athlete as well. You might not think that he's fast, but I've seen that guy burn some people at practice, so we'll see what they look to do. They go open.
There we go, Biss to Nanai, to Leonard, a little ahead of him. So that ball's going to bounce. I think it'll come back to a scrum. I don't know if it went cleanly into the line out.
Looks like they're going to get a decision here. There's a forward pass into touch, and it's interesting to see Brazil look to go to the scrum. We haven't really seen them have any attacking launches from a set-piece scrum. Again, Highlanders sticking to the plan. I think it looks like there is a food truck for anybody at home.
Ooh, Japa Dog.
No, Japa Dog is a great local brand.
All right, I'll be back.
That is where you're going to find me after the game. But it looks like the Highlanders are trying to get that ball to Milani out in that 13 channel, and then try to get that ball out wide to Nico. And I imagine what they're thinking is that the Brazil line is going to be so focused on Milani that they're going to be able to create space outside for those danger men. And if you look at the bench as well, they have some absolute athletes on the bench, and it'll be interesting as they tire them out when we see the quote-unquote bomb squad come onto the field.
Yeah, this is, I believe, Brazil's first scrum, so we'll see how they hold up to the Highlanders. Highlanders scrum been improving every game, and watching some highlights there from last game. Oh, there we go. Great scrum from the Highlanders. Made a mess of it, a dog's breakfast, as they say.
I haven't heard that, but I'm going to save that, write that down, and make sure to use it in the future. Brazil looking to come around the corner.
Nice, that Saba came flying in there.
Saba is all gas, no brakes. Brazil, another handling error. And an unfortunate slip up there from Hunger. It doesn't look like Brazil is able to kind of handle this line speed and this pressure defensively. They've got some absolute dogs in the back row. Saba Shibate, again, a member of the Georgian team. Joe Locke, the pride of Wales. Relmu Wilson Valdez, the pride of, I believe he's originally from Nelson, BC. Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to, I believe, LV Rogers, his high school team. I'm gonna take a guess here. I think they're probably gonna try and get that ball to Nico Leonard on the outside. He's got a lot of space.
Yeah.
Or do they give Deshaun a little bit of ball? He's been a bit quiet, but that's because he hasn't gotten much ball, you know.
Yeah. Well, they got Biss lined up on the right. Everybody's coming right. Watkins gonna be looking for Nanai. Nanai takes it in. A little backdoor pass out there to Maloney, and now Deshaun Bowens on the run. Good tackle there from Brazil. Puts him into touch. So pretty good series of plays there, or I guess play from the Highlanders. Looked like it was a set play, and couldn't work too much better.
Again, whenever you have the opportunity to have Milani Nanai coming around the corner with a man like Deshaun Bowen on the wing, an opportunity to kind of get him that ball in space is a recipe for success. It looks like we're going into a water break. It's been a bit of a messy game from both sides. Highlanders striking quickly and twice. Brazil just hasn't been able to put any bit together attack-wise.
No, the Highlanders have had all the momentum. One thing, not necessarily concerning, but with the amount of handling errors that the Brazilian team has, the Highlanders are trying to force something, scoring off of that turnover every time, where if they just calm down, take the ball into contact, you know, the offside line's still going to be there. Brazil still be in a bit of a, you know, still moving around if they can get that ball out fairly quickly. If they do that, set up for one of the plays that you guys have been practicing on this pitch for the last 2 months, they should be able to put some more offense together, as it's 14-0, 18 and a half minutes in, and, you know, I think the Highlanders be happy with the score, but aware of the fact that they probably should be up by 21 or 28 at this point.
And as Brazil tires, I imagine the plan would be to hit in the middle, probably try and stop that fold, and then get into that open space. Again, I've been mentioning their back three, but they have a lot of athletes across the board, people who are good ball players, great ball runners. So we'd like to see the Highlanders be able to get that ball in space, and that might, again, going back to your previous point, just be able to kind of be a little bit more patient with the ball, but errors are happening on both sides. Brazil has been not handling that outside-in line speed that is kind of the Highlanders' calling card. And I wonder if at halftime or even in that water break, if they come out and adjust, because a lot of their runs are just coming right off the hip, running at that A and B channel, might try and get a little bit more width to try and limit that line speed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how Brazil react here. It's their own lineup. They've had some success at the back. They've been a little sloppy at the front. They're going up to the front again. Substitution happening. We don't have a call into the referees mics, but it looks like there's a sub coming on the field. And it looks like their number 8 has come off. So I believe that's Pedro Aparecido from the Poly Club, who is coming off.
Fantastic pronunciation right there.
Well, we don't know. Perhaps his family at home are just thinking this is blasphemous, speaking Portuguese like I am. I only know Nando's in Portuguese.
Very, very chicken as they hit in the middle.
Oh, Watkins can't control that. But bounces into the hands of Deshaun Bowen, who's going to score. Going under the posts.
A somersaulting dive there by Deshaun Bowen, putting on the fireworks after that great individual. That's a rugby players able to make let's say lemonade out of some lemons in that situation. A little bit of a messy ruck. That's something to watch going forward. I wonder if Brazil's going to start trying to pressure those rucks to slow down the speed that the Highlanders are playing at. They're obviously trying to get this Brazil team tired. So there's lots of ways to kind of combat that. But right now, it just looks like Brazil's not at the same level, maybe fitness-wise. Again, you can't really discount the long travel, staying in a hotel. Those things all add up, and this Highlanders team is very comfortable playing at home. This is where they've been training. They obviously have watched the Brazil game film. They knew who was coming in. But again, I think that you can say the Highlanders are also leaving a little bit on the board. I'm sure when they go in at halftime, they will also be looking to clean up those errors, because I think that scoreboard reading 21-0, I think they probably could have a little bit more on there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Maloney just added an extra 2 points in there, made quick work of that. I think, the Tao of the Highlanders from the very beginning, when it was first, put out there, that it was going to be attacking, exciting rugby, and that's what people want to see. I think the Highlanders done a great job of capturing the hearts of the Vancouver rugby community. But I think right now they basically need to play like a dealer in blackjack, where the other team has to make their hand. So you just let them make the mistakes, capitalize on that, and the house always wins. So nice take there from Caden DeGood. Not an easy pass to bring in there, but he's done a great job of it.
They're picking up the pace here, looking to get that ball outside.
Having Giuseppe Dutoit, that's a heck of a pickup that the Highlanders have just had. Now Nanai to DeBowen. Is he going to make it in? No, pushed out of bounds just around the 5 meters. So nice thing for the forwards here, especially the front row, I can tell you, is that they're going to be down in that shaded area for the next few minutes. So if I was the forwards from both teams, the front row, I'd be trying to milk this line out for as long as humanly possible.
I think the Highlanders, actually, a lot of their budget go to sunscreen. We have a lot of people who get severe sunburns, quite pale as a group.
A lot of Irish names in that
yeah, a
that
lot
roster.
of Irish names in that roster. They are not ready for the sun. They were
not known for their tanning at all.
No potatoes and no water. And why is it not shaded?
They are known for potatoes and numerous members of the community in 2-bedroom apartments in Kitsilano, but not tanning. Highlanders moving it wide into Joe Locke. Brazil, some good numbers there. The Highlanders might want to come back the other way, where they seem to have the numerical advantage. And Watkins does just that, but the pass not taken cleanly. Now Brazil got the big front row chasing. He's going to lose that match to Deshaun Bowen 100% of the time, though.
And again, they created a good overlap. Again, you made the right call. Go back on the short side. Unfortunate handling error there from Saba Shabbatse. He'll make up for that as the game goes forward. But the Highlanders, they're just creating that secondary effort. That first initial hit from Joe Locke, the Brazilian team is not able to bring the Highlanders players down. Joe Locke, through contact, continuing to drive his legs, and that's what's basically putting all the pressure on Brazil's defense. They're not able to get set. They're not able to bring any elements of line speed, or at least be comfortable. And the Highlanders, I imagine as the game goes on and they start to dip into their deep bench, they will keep trying to put the pressure on and just kind of trying to fight for those yards after carry. They steal a quote from the NFL, yak, yards after carry. See a big scrum here, center scrum. See if they bring some pressure in this scrum from O'Flaherty and Kelly. A big Highlanders pack, and there they go.
Yeah, big push from the Highlanders.
Blowing up, and they'll go at it again. I think you have to be pretty happy. Forwards coach Neil Courtney would be probably pretty pleased with that front row performance right now. They're shoving a pretty big pack backwards, especially when they're under a lot of pressure.
Highlanders have some big bodies on the bench too that'll be coming in at some point to replace other big bodies.
Yeah, one to watch is Callum Botcher, fondly known as the Rooster.
Yes.
In from NOLA. He's here for a week, and what a pickup to add someone of his caliber into the squad.
Well, here we go. Brazil with another put in. Their number 9, Guilherme Oliveira. That one's going to get blown up. Another reset. Feet slipping out in the front row.
I think they're just milking the shade.
Not a bad idea. It's a veteran move.
Veteran move. Veteran savvy from Cole Kelly. One of the a new Kitsilano resident, as you said, from originally from Ireland. So you can draw those lines. We'll see if they go after them again. Referee Julianne Zussman is making sure that everything is clean up there. Not going to pretend to understand what's going on up there. I imagine they're saying, let's push.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Regardless of what the play was from the coaches, as a front rower, I'm sure your dad could probably say the same thing, I would just push as hard as I could in whatever direction I could.
Yeah, as most front row know, my dad would probably be a little bit more technical, and I'd start losing all my. I don't have the attention span for that. Shout out John Teal, great guy. Oh, and a huge scrum.
Yeah,
Speaking
of
John, there it is. The Highlanders have to be really pleased with that, especially after having some problems. Reed Watkins going quickly.
I'll see if that pays off. The 9 now hands it to Bowen. Nice spinorama there. Savardian.
Deshaun Bowen, great feet, staying inside. Brazil slowing the ball down. Oh, pulls it out the back. They're looking to find the width. Ooh, unfortunate.
Just not executing there.
And here goes the Brazil player. Look at that speed from Relmu. Nico Leonard chasing.
Sao Paulo Athletic Club.
You see a lot of hands on the heads here from the Highlanders players. That's just an unfortunate error, but that's how quick it can turn in rugby. One unfortunate bounce. I used to have a coach who said we should try and make a play where we, on purpose, have a bounce pass. The hardest play to mark in rugby.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I've never thought about drawing up a play for a bounce pass, but
he was an interesting man. But a big solo effort there, and that's how quick the tides can turn, and Brazil is on the board.
Coast to coast. If you remember, only a few seconds ago, the Vancouver Highlanders had a penalty at the 5-meter line in front of the posts.
And 26 minutes into this game, I imagine that Brazil is pretty happy with that. They needed a little bit of a boost, and they might have found it there. But yeah, like you mentioned, again, trying to go quick, trying to find it outside. A couple passes just not going on target, and that's how quick it can turn. We'll see how Brazil responds.
Number 10 has the extra.
I imagine the Highlanders team will probably try to hang one deep, put a lot of pressure on the catch, and then they'll try and get Brazil to exit. Highlanders want the ball. They want to play that expansive game. So I imagine they're going to try and just invite Brazil to kick back to them.
Well, that conversion is going to make it 21-7. Restart forthcoming here with Mike Maloney.
Maloney going deep. Deshaun Bowen putting a lot of pressure on the carrier here. Some good footwork. Finally, Saba Shabate wraps him up. Brought down. They're looking to make a mess of this ruck. Brazil looking to exit. They've got Wilson Valdez dropped deep. Cole Kelly coming in and having a dig, trying to pressure that ruck. Brazil, okay, slowing it down, going through, find a little bit of a gap there between the tacklers. Joe Locke looking to bring the pressure. Brazil doing a good job now. They look like they have a little bit of positive momentum on their side. They make a good breakthrough, a nice offload. A lot of pressure here. It looks like they have advantage. I wonder what they're going to, and the referee has called it for a high tackle. I think the Highlanders group, they just need to slow it down, reset, find their bearings. They've had a lot of joy trying to pressure this Brazil lineout. Carl Hunger doing a good job of putting the pressure on the thrower. Brazil goes to touch.
Hunger so strong on the lineouts. So great around the ball, just a great rugby player.
He's built like a string bean. Oh, and the kick has not found touch. Bobbled.
Mental error there from Brazil. This takes back to what I was saying there a little earlier, is the Highlanders need to stop trying to force things and just play off of Brazil's mistakes, keep your structure, and the tries will just start to, you know, show up more and more and more and more and more. But if they try to counter a Brazil mistake caused from some erratic forced play with their own erratic forced play, then it's going to be a 14-point game. You know, exciting for the fans watching, perhaps you and I, but you know, Highlanders probably should be up by a little bit more right now. So
it's all about finding the groove, especially here when you're playing at home. The Highlanders just need to slow it down. They're excited. I mean, I understand playing in front of a packed crowd here in Kalani. Good pressure on the throw, just over top of Bossy's head.
It's going to be a knock on.
Highlanders have the advantage. They're looking to play wide. Find Milani Nanai. He skips out of a tackle.
Nanai is the danger man in a backfield full of danger men. Going short side. Ball into Maloney. Back into the hands of Nico Leonard. He's going to cut back in. Looking like a running back out there.
That looks like a high tackle in the backfield there. They have the advantage.
That's going to get blown up. Well, another opportunity for the Highlanders to kick the ball back into the shade, get inside the 10-meter line, and hopefully set up for a big maul using big bodies of Carl Hunger and DeGood and some of the other Joe Locke, some of the other stockier fellows in there to start pushing.
Joe Locke, they're going for points. I was wondering if they're going to go for points, try and calm that down. The basis of the Highlanders rugby, we're trying to get as many points on the board as you can. You take the easy points when you can, and you have Mike Maloney. I believe he played some shoot shield in Australia. He's got a great boot on him.
Great boot on him.
And I think this is just maybe a way for, like we spoke about, trying to get back into the groove of the play, get some points when they're on offer. Again, and if they miss, a lot of pressure here, able to have them, it's like an exit. So we'll see. Hopefully, I got faith in Mike. This guy's got a great kick.
This is right in Maloney's wheelhouse, no question about it. So about 45 yards out, just midway between center and the 15-meter line.
You going yards or meters?
Ball's up. Bounces off the post.
Great chase, though. Oh, Brazil's tapped it back. Ball's bobbling.
Ball's out on the wing. Nice little move. Cuts back in, taken down by Deshaun Bowen, sorry. Now it's going to pop up.
Looking to put some pressure on the backfield here now. The kick chase is not
nice move
too
from Maloney.
strong. Maloney finding Biss out wide. Oh, and just unfortunately bobbled a bit.
Islanders still have it. Now Giuseppe Detroit. Taking it down. Safe ruck from the Highlanders. Saba takes it in. Offside there on Brazil. Pretty darn offside there. I think that was just plain old offside. Not sure what the guy was doing on that side of the ball. But going to take a break here. Bring a trainer on the field. Looks like Saba Shibatsa has an ankle issue, so they'll hopefully be able to tape that up. Gives the forwards a bit of a time for a break. So, being a member of the Highlanders, how is it? Do you feel the buzz around the rugby community for the Highlanders?
You feel the buzz, especially around, I think, it's really made a big mark in the youth rugby community, giving these people around here, these kids playing in BC, kind of something to strive for. They can look and they see that professional rugby is something that you can achieve. I think when I was playing, all the way back in the old days, when I was U18, we didn't have we didn't have the MLR, we didn't have an option like this. So I think that's something that's really positive for the community to see, obviously the only professional team in Canada right now, and hopefully the growth keeps going. And I mean, it's been a pretty successful year, knocking off 2 international teams, the Canada Selects team, and hopefully get another win here. Again, a long game, but we've been playing well, and I think that, it's definitely something that, giving something for people to aspire to. It's been great. I enjoy it. I mean, how can you complain? As Curry Hitchborn calls this so lovingly, it's God's country out here in North/West Vancouver. Great team, great atmosphere, and you can't really ask for too much. But you know what? That looks like a decent maul. They're held up here. Well, they're stopped a little bit by Brazil. The second effort, they're starting to inch forward here. Ball at the back with Bossy.
Ball starting to get a little messy. Watkins gets the ball out. He's going to smash it up there with Giuseppe Dutois.
The pride of Trinity Western,
Coming
one of the
back
coaches.
to the forwards. Yes, he is. A heck of a rugby player. The pride of Pitt Meadows, really.
Oh, great footwork by Duguid. Duguid, a former wrestler under the name Ajax. That is not a made-up fact.
Carl Hunger gets taken out nice and low. Watkins picks the ball up. He's looking to pop to lock. Popped and locked, as they say.
Looks like Brazil's overfolding here. They might actually find some space. Deshaun Bowen breaking some tackles.
I like that spin move he's got. Wouldn't work for me because I'm really slow, but it's working for him.
Watkins getting ready here.
Yeah, back into Hunger.
They're just trying to attack on that C channel, just trying to really stretch this Brazil defense. You can see they're tired, back inside.
Great line.
And it's that man again, Nico Leonard. The Brazil team just hands on hips. They're tired. They just can't keep up with this constant onslaught of runs. The Highlanders are getting to those outside seams, outside of C and D, that makes it the third or fourth defender, making it really hard to fold around the corner. And that's a lot of work for a big pack. And I think this is where the game plan's starting to kind of show. The Highlanders are a fit team. They have a lot of weapons. They've got weapons on the bench. They've got weapons starting. And they're just starting to wear this Brazil team down, and it's starting to show.
It is. So that try is going to put the Highlanders up 26-7 with a fairly easy kick from Maloney right in front of the posts.
That was a really good line from Nico Leonard. He's been busy today. I think in the Germany game, not a fault, but he's a danger man. You want to get him the ball in space. You just want to get him the ball. When he has the ball in his hands, he's able to make things happen. But he's looking for that work, and that's a lot of things that a note for a lot of young wingers here in Canada or in BC is looking for work, trying to get your hands on the ball, not just staying and being patient on your side of the field, though he has done a really good job holding his width, getting the ball, being patient, and just, a good kick too. What can't this guy do? I bet he could do 100 push-ups. Just looking at him.
Chin-ups? Could he do chin-ups?
There's no way the bar could hold him. The sub will be made, and well, I can't be biased here, but it looks like, yeah, it is. It is Josh Teal. The less handsome of the Teal twins, coming in at 12, position he's played internationally. We'll see how the access works. He's been playing 10 this year with James Bass coming into the lineup. There's 2 10s on the field. They look to find Reed Watkins. Maloney dropped back.
Maloney also plays 10, by the way, sometimes.
Yeah, and I think also sometimes Joe Locke said he could even play 10. Finding touch again.
Into touch. Brazil may go quick, but no, they're going to hold up. So that is, the brother, Josh Teal, on the field. In at 12, Giuseppe Dutois taking a break. So I thought Josh was exceptional in the game that he played at fly half versus the Canada Selects.
Yeah, this is going to be biased from me. But no, he was fantastic. I think he's played all his youth rugby playing 10, played 12 at San Diego, played 12 internationally, like I said, but he's an oft overlooked player in the system. He's solid across the board. He's great kicking, foot, tactical decision maker, but he's just a solid leader, and he's a great rugby player. Very rarely misses his tackles. Hopefully this is, I don't overshow him here, but it's been a good season for him, and I'm happy as his twin brother to see him get the chance to shine.
So Maul not going Brazil's way. They ended up putting the ball out there. It's get it nice and high.
Oh, bobbled, finds Deshaun Bowen, finds a seam down the middle.
For those of you watching at home, that was hard tackle there. It was Carl Hunger did most of the damage there against the Brazilian Maul. Got himself in the middle and just made a mess of everything. So great work there from Hunger, and unfortunately Bowen there just took a hit from the side, wasn't prepared for it, and the ball went a little bit forward. But nice job there from the Highlanders to disrupt that maul from Brazil. That was a good looking maul at the very beginning, and they left a seam, and as you described, the spring bean, what did you call it? String bean, that's what I went through it. So it's a pretty good description of him.
I think an interesting wrinkle here has been that every time Brazil's, I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that kick.
Mental error is killing Brazil here.
Yeah, Brazil, every time they've kicked, the Highlanders have been very potent in their counterattack. They have a lot of weapons, so every time they kick back to the backfield, Maloney's been able to find joy with a rolling kick, maybe finding Bowen, maybe finding Leonard, or even finding Malani Nanai in space. So Brazil's kind of had to go back to the drawing board. They haven't been able to keep the ball in hand. The only score has been come off a mistake. Again, an overthrow.
Right to Bossy. That's again the problem when you go to the back. There's no room for error at the back.
See if they find the man Biss here. Pulls it out back to Josh Teal. Finds Maloney. A little bit of footwork. Finds Deshaun Bowen.
Bowen's going to get wrapped up here. Watkins looking for the forward. Going to pass it to DeGood. Nice tackle there from the number 4 from Brazil.
And it doesn't look like a big carry, but he's just stopping the fold. He's putting constant pressure on these Brazilian defenders to try and get around the corner, tiring them out. They get the ball to Joe Locke on the outside. He says he's a winger. Big carry. The hand is up. It is advantage.
You know, there was nice work by Joe Locke, actually. It's crazy it sounds to not pass to Nico Leonard there. The right call was to keep it, step back in, and set up the ruck, which he did really well.
A little bit of interlinking play here. Finds Josh Teal around the corner. Big collision. They're just looking to play off the script. Biss pick up. Ooh,
that's
a
big
shot.
hit. Yeah, you don't want to run into a guy that size. Looking straight up.
Again, just getting to the outside seams.
Watkins. Yeah, I thought that might happen. A little fellow there got right over the ball. Number 19, Lucas Aribe.
For the viewers at home, in a good kind of understanding for this, when you have a jackler over the ball, going for that ball, when you see his hips turned around the corner, that picture for the referee, seeing the Highlanders player kind of scoop them and come around the side, is quite, this might sound obvious for the rugby, knowledgeable rugby people at home, looks like it's coming from the side. And all the hallmarks there from the Brazilian player have a really good contest over the ball, and especially Julianne Zussman made her name on the referee scene as a sevens ref. She's very good at the breakdown, so she's going to be pretty aware that Highlanders might just need to speed up a little bit on their support. But that's what also is happening when you're trying to get outside of that 4th seam and just try to put that pressure on the fold. Sometimes you get a little bit loose in terms of your support play.
You go see what Brazil does this time. If they're smart, they stick to the middle or the front. Nope, going to the back again. Oh, brings it down this time. There you go. Set up a nice maul. That was Yarly Santana. Bring the ball down. Now the ball's out. That's the hooker. I can't
Great
keep it in.
shot. Reed Watkins.
Reed Watkins.
Plays above his weight. He has a lot of bark, and apparently he has some bite now as well.
Got some cauliflowered ears. You don't see a lot of scrum halves with cauliflowered ears.
Leonard on the wing. Offload back inside.
Joe Locke taking a hard line. Stopped.
You could hear Bowen calling for the ball out wide. Biss looking back to go dead. Oh, the option's not there. They read that one. They've got the width here. You got to look to Cole Kelly, I imagine. Josh Teal's got the ball.
Yeah, they need to do a few more forward crashes. Brazil's lined up pretty well on defense. They got 2 guys back. Need to earn the right to go wide here. So.
Oh, big shots all around. Maloney down the wing. Links up with Maloney.
Maloney taken down at the 22. Quick Biss stepping in there to 10. Cole Kelly taking the ball in. Good contact there. Now
Hold out the
Bossy.
back.
Teal wrapped up. Just couldn't get that pass off to Bowen. Or Deshaun Bowen. Back to the forwards.
Highlanders showing they can slow it down. Wilson Valdez, a pick. Quick ball.
Watkins couldn't get the ball out in time to hit
Some
the
footwork from Teal. Big shots.
Brazil has a man down right now. The spare, the sub, Lucas Aribe.
An unfortunate bobble there. And that will take us to
It's
halftime.
Big hands for both teams. Very hard rugby on a very warm West Vancouver day.
And it's easy to say from up here, folks, but it looks like it was a grueling first half in the sun, in that heat. Lucky I'm up here in a shaded area. But now for our halftime entertainment, we'll be joined by recent silver medalist Piper Logan from the women's sevens team that just won silver in Paris. So Piper, I'll give you a little intro. You are from, you represent the UBC Thunderbirds as a club and for U Sports, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you're a Vancouverite, or are you from, where are you from?
From Calgary, Alberta originally, but a very proud Thunderbird.
And is this your first Highlanders game?
It is not.
Wow, so you're an avid fan of the Highlanders.
Love the Highlanders.
Well, what can you say? Fortitude. So, Piper, obviously, you've set the rugby world ablaze with your recent performance from the team. How does it feel to be a silver medalist? Because not a lot of people get that experience, let alone an Olympian, but a silver medalist.
Yeah, I don't think it's really real yet. Hasn't set in for me, but feels pretty great. Very proud Canadian, proud of the girls. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to do it with. So.
Well, we are really all proud of you here. I know there was a lot of buzz within the Canadian rugby community and outside of the Canadian rugby community. What do you think this will do for the growth of rugby, not only on the women's side, but in Canada as a whole? Because Canada is a very proud sporting nation, and they're very proud of their Olympians. So I just want to wonder, I kind of wonder, do you think this is going to translate to more numbers in the community, more numbers in the youth game?
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, I think the game that we put out there shows that rugby's a game for anybody, and I hope that they can see that rugby's growing in Canada, and there's a lot more to be done with our program. I mean, we have had a lot of support over the last few years, and it's definitely growing, but we could always use more and more competition and to grow the game from the youth games up, so.
Oh, well, that's a fantastic answer. So, quick question for you. Will you be returning to the UBC Thunderbirds to play in the upcoming U Sports season?
Hopefully. That's the plan. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but...
Yeah, you got to make the team first, I imagine. Well, Piper, just before we go, any thoughts on the game so far? Any players sticking out? Anybody you want to give a shout-out to? If not, don't worry about it.
Well... I think if this was my first ever rugby game, I don't think I'd want to play rugby. There's some serious shots being put out there today, which makes me second guess whether or not I'm actually capable of playing. But yeah, great game so far. I mean, I think the first minute of the game really showed what we were in for. But hopefully Brazil can put up a few more points on the board, and yeah, wishing them the best of luck in the second half.
So you're cheering for Brazil?
I'm cheering for rugby, man.
Man, as long as rugby's the winner, we're all winners here. So again, congratulations on the recent success. Again, you've captured Canada's heart. Thank you for donating your time to the Highlanders, but also to the community. And we wish you well. LA 2028. Do you want to make that commitment right now on live feed?
I don't know. Potentially. We'll have to see. Maybe if they pay me more.
Yeah, well, there's Rugby Canada. Okay. Anyway, we're going to bid our guests adieu, and then we're going to leave it to halftime. And we're looking to come back with some more Highlanders rugby after this quick break.
All right, we're back. Second half getting ready to kick off. A few substitutions made there. Looks like for Brazil, Mateus Cruz from the Jacaré Rugby Club getting ready to restart here. I believe that's Brazil's only spare at the half. So early in the game, they had the number 8, Pedro Aparecido, subbed off for number 19, Lucas Aribe. For the Highlanders, looks like we got a new second row in there.
No.
Blue headgear?
That's Relmu.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. Apologies.
No, it's okay. We were looking and the shade was a little bit different on the other side. I just don't want, I didn't know who it was, so I was worried.
Fair enough. Oh, yeah, there we go.
The first,
that's Mateus Cruz with a nice run.
One of the first kind of open field kicks we've seen from the Highlanders. They were looking to spread the ball a little bit. Ooh, falling off of tackles. That's a better carry from the Brazil team.
It's a big boy.
Commentator's curse. Yes, a lot of pressure in the backfield. The referee correctly bringing it back. There was no advantage to play, though. You could see Milani Nanai in the back of the shot there looking. He probably disagrees. I think he thinks he can make anything happen. And honestly, I agree with him.
Backs always do.
Well, I don't know, because I'm a forward. I would also, I think, no, I'm just kidding. It's all back. We'll look if they try to change this tactic. Now that you have a 10-12 axis, basically Biss and Teal at 10 and 12, I wonder if they're going to try and play through Teal, maybe with Nanai running a hard line, Biss in motion, trying to trap that 13. That's where they're getting a lot of love. Or are they just going to try and shift that ball straight to Maloney and let them create a 2-on-1? Bowen in motion behind, trying to drag that winger over. Brazil's opted for a very interesting backfield setup.
Another great platform from the Highlanders scrum. Really, really working well today in the scrums. Ball wide to Nico Leonard.
And here he comes.
He's got some moves, he's got some speed. Taken down nicely there with the number 13, Victor Silva.
Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, my goodness.
Pass. And back inside to James Biss, who's going to score. Great series.
Some Harlem Globetrotters-esque stuff there. Milani Nanai starting with the offload to Teal, who did a no-look out the back. I've seen that once or twice before in the backyard. I'm not going to lie. Finds Maloney, who sets away Biss.
Some champagne rugby.
Well, it just shows, again, I think the game plan going into this game for the Highlanders, it seems like, was to try and get that ball to the outside. They do. Nico Leonard's done an incredible job of just beating his first defender, creating gaps and creating folds, putting a lot of pressure on those backs from Brazil. They're so focused on trying to take him down, they end up leaving those support lanes open. And then when you're able to find Milani Nanai in space on the front foot, he's a hard man to stop, especially with his type of footwork. And then good connection from Teal, Maloney, and Biss. And that's just, you can't really draw that up any better. I think head coach Tom Larish will be pretty pleased with that one. It looks like Callum Botcher and Peyton Tenneke from UBC and the former T-Bird, Callum Botcher, getting ready to warm up as Maloney looks to slot this one over, potentially.
Kicks up. Right through.
I imagine Brazil has been looking to put the ball on the 12, who is now Teal, and they were able to find Joe Locke around the corner for a big carry. And a lot of this positive momentum has come from Locke. He's been able to beat the first defender just using pure physicality, beating the first defender, getting 3 defenders sucked in, creating the seams. Again, the Highlanders were looking to play out a little bit more, but they opted for the kick last time. We'll see if they change the tactics to try and keep the ball in hand.
Kick is up. Taken easily by Carl Hunger in the air. Wrapped up by a few Brazilian players, but great job to get the ball back by Hunger. Reed Watkins looking for Maloney.
Oh, they're playing
Don't want it. Run it out of the 22. Might work here. Backdoor pass again from Maloney.
Got Bowen outside. Oh! There's only one direction he was going. That was straight. Oof.
Yeah, going back to the scrum.
A little bit high in contact there. Allowed the Brazilian defender. He did a very good job. Sean Bowen, a hard man to kind of take down, but with his height in that contact, they were able to kind of corral him, allow an extra support player on defense to kind of come in and put that pressure on the inside. wrap him up and take him out of bounds. Well, actually, not take him out of bounds. Force the knock-on, force the handling error. And when you're in that kind of spot, you're being held up, you're trying to get that ball back. It's a pretty pressure-filled situation. Brazil, I imagine, are going to probably go through the 12 and 13 here and look to get their backs around the corner. But they've been also opting to bring their forward pod around, which has been a pretty slow move. I'm wondering if they might come out of this half with a different type of tactic.
I think right now what they want to do is get that ball into the 8-man's feet as quick as possible and get the ball out. They need to dig that ball out. Yeah, it's going to come back for the penalty for sure there.
That's why they pay you the big bucks. You predicted that one.
Yeah, tight head on the Brazilian side got pushed in a little bit, and it just collapsed on the Brazilian tight head side. So
it's been a big day for the Highlanders pack, and when it comes to scrum time, I know the boys will be quite happy with that. Now they're going to be afforded the luxury of finding touch down the field, looking to get a line-out launch. Again, I think the Brazil team will probably be pretty locked in on Milani and I, wherever they put him. The kick has found touch. An excellent banana kick from Mike Maloney, showing us a wide array of kicking techniques today.
I've been watching Mike Maloney here play in the BC Premier League around Vancouver the last few years, and he has best boot in the BC Premier League for probably the last 10 or 15 years.
You think that, but you've never seen Carl Hunger kick at a Highlanders practice. Let me tell you.
I'll give you that. You're right.
I'm just kidding. Maloney is much better. Sorry, Carl.
Hunger, so good in the lineup. Brings it down. Great start to the maul. Highlanders just moving that thing as fast as you can possibly go, bent over like that.
Bossy at the back, looking to get it in there. See if they can get the ball back clean.
Gets pulled down. Watkins digging for that ball. Fake from Joe Locke. Oh, could not bring that down.
I wonder if they were maybe looking to go right. You saw Wilson Valdez break to the right. An unfortunate handling error there from Josh Teal.
They bring up another scrum.
Well, the Brazil team is definitely not out of the fire here.
Yeah, those second rows, loose head, have just got to get their legs as wide as possible so that scrum back can feed it directly back into the hands of number 19, Lucas Poli.
And you can see a lot of connection. They're very low in their push. They're very connected to the Highlanders group. They're looking to put that pressure. They've obviously identified that they can get these props from the Brazilian team and put them under pressure. I imagine last time we were looking at this picture, they brought a ton of pressure through O'Flaherty.
Yeah, we get a pretty good view here for you scrum enthusiasts there of the number 3, Joe Talamini, and number 1, Connor O'Flaherty for the Highlanders. So, getting ready here. Ball's in. Big push. Ball's out. See, they did the right thing.
Oh, that was incredible work by Joe Locke. They've got space out wide. Surely they find it. Joe Locke says no. He goes digging for a try. Oh, and they bring it back.
Yeah.
Thought Nico Leonard was probably pretty excited. Oh, they're slowing it down. Nico Leonard had a lot of space in front of him. A very soft-spoken man, but I can only assure that he was hungry for the try. It looks like Carl Hunger.
Gonna tap and go here? You guys do that?
You know what? I would imagine they might.
I'd go scrum personally.
Opt for a scrum after their success, or maybe they'll just take the easy points in front. I would be quite surprised. Oh, it looks like Reed Watkins is down in the backfield, and that's what the slow down for. And it will be a Highlanders debut from Sam Reimer, who was playing his club rugby, as he slapped himself. He was playing his club rugby, professional rugby, I should say, with the Utah Warriors this year. He made his debut, I believe, on the wing versus Seattle, which is interesting. He himself admits he is not a man with much pace, but man, does he have that ball on a rope. He throws absolute dimes.
Is he a UVic guy?
He was with the Pacific Pride,
okay,
for a couple years, looking to keep building on the momentum he's kind of created for himself, playing with that Utah program. They unfortunately did not make the playoffs this year, but that is a joy for the Highlanders as they're able to get him, pick him up. What a find. You see what they look to do here. They've split the backfield, which means that you might see Relmu Wilson Valdez try and get his hands on the ball, create a little bit of space. I imagine you're going to see Milani and I, that man we've been saying, in motion. And we've got 3 10s on the field with Biss, Maloney, and Teal.
Nanai said I was that first receiver. I'd be surprised if Reimer Valdez didn't pick up and go right. With a scrum half, gives him 5 men on that side, 3 defenders plus a flanker.
We also I'm sure that Cole Kelly, knowing him, is licking his lips at the opportunity to maybe keep pushing these guys back. A pushover try would be a sight for sore eyes, especially for those front row enthusiasts or
I think there's a
sickos,
good
as
chance
I
of
call
that.
them. They've got the advantage. They go back.
Back left.
Oh, there it is.
Lanai takes it himself, dots it down. What a play.
Here's the birthday boys try.
Zone going right multiple times from center scrums. They end up bringing it back. It's the right decision. They had a lot of numbers out wide. Teal was wide. Leonard was wide. So the defenders felt pressure. Their hips were turned. And you just can't leave defenders one-on-one with Milani and I, especially on his birthday.
Yeah, it looks like Callum Botcher going to be coming in from the on the Highlanders, as well as a new front row coming on with Connor O'Flaherty coming off. So that's it for Caden DeGood and Connor O'Flaherty. Peyton Teneke and Callum Botcher on. So
a good shift from Caden DeGood. He was in the Canada setup when they were against Scotland and Romania. A good young player. He's been playing in France. His brother Tyler is with Montpellier. And as I have previously mentioned, he was I believe, a former champion. I can't remember in what wrestling promotion he was with, but his wrestling name was Ajax.
Really?
Yes, I have seen him.
Was it a French promotion? I mean,
no, he was wrestling in
WWF?
the good old towns of Alberta.
Really? Stampede wrestling? I don't know if that's a thing.
Potentially, as Maloney
Kick
splits
is
the
good.
uprights.
How old is he? It looks like he's about 21 years old. How was he a wrestling champion?
You know what? He started young. Good stock, the DeGood family. Sister Abby DeGood also has played internationally. Uncle John Tate and Luke Tate both played internationally.
Nice.
So I believe all of them have played in the second row as well.
The family has the height for it.
Well, look where Brazil looks. They've been going to their right. The kicker opening his hips. It looks like that's where they're going to go. Trying to put the ball on the 12. Put the pressure on Josh Teal. Looks like Joe Locke's dropped back. They hang this one short. Great take by Carl Hunger there.
Carl Hunger's had a stormer of a game here.
He's just doing the little things again. He's making it up in the margins. Oh, an unfortunate drop.
Went back, I guess. Nope, went forward.
And that's, again, they're being afforded, the Highlanders are being afforded the luxury of a lot of time. And sometimes when you see that space, you see that time, you want to operate as fast as you can. Get that ball to that space. You take your eyes off of the prize. Now a big scrum for our front row. Peyton Teneke just subbing in. Cole Kelly shifting to the loose head position. Callum Botcher sliding in at second row. Not losing any bulk with this pack.
Nope.
Saba Shubatse also playing past the 50th minute. He has said many times, nobody, I don't play past 50. That's my Georgian impression. Saba Shubatse is a nightmare to practice against and to play against, I imagine. Great guy.
It was a downright treasonous Georgian accent.
Sorry to all the Georgian fans watching at home.
Another big scrum from the Highlanders. Brazil's able to get that ball out. Number 13, Victor Silva takes it in.
Big shot by Sam Reimer there.
Penalty at the breakdown against Biss, I think, for not rolling away. I'm actually, unfortunately, right behind a pole and couldn't see exactly what the penalty called was, but I think that's what it looked like. Nice tackle from Saba. I'm just going to call him Saba. The big man, again. Number 5. Giamaris was taken down. Ooh. Great tackle there from Teal and one other, I think it was Saba. Some solid defense.
Has made about 5 tackles in a row here. And if you look, the Highlanders team is folding around faster than the Brazil team is able to even get back to their feet. Brazil's getting no love. The widest players on the inside. Big line pressure here. Teal over the ball. And that's going to go his way. And that is just good defense. Coach Bill Chamberlain, who's been heading up the defensive efforts for this Highlanders group, has to be happy with the pressure. This Brazil team is just playing within the 15s. They're not able to generate any type of attacking play unless it's off of a Highlanders mistake.
Yes, a couple more changes there from Brazil just for the last scrum there. Nicholas Sidorowicz from the University of Mary Washington in Fredericksburg, Virginia on the field, as well as Joel Jr. from the Poly Club. I'm not sure if Junior is actually the last name, but that's the info I got. Joel Jr.
And I think we have to go back. I want to touch on those scrums. As we came into this game, I thought that was going to be an area of strength for this Brazil team. And again, they are a development group. They are getting a lot of people, younger players, or players who haven't played on the international scene. But I am quite surprised that they're not able to capitalize in this. And I know the Highlanders are going to walk away pretty happy, especially heading into playing against a full-powered Canada team with some good scrummaging reps, especially with big wins on their side.
It'll be a good test for them. That was the one area I thought in that initial Highlanders Canada Selects game where the Highlanders did, were second best, I guess, was in the scrum against the bigger Canada front row. Everywhere else thought the Highlanders, gave as good as they got or overpowered the Canada Selects team. So we'll see how that's coming up. That game, by the way, for those of you guys watching at home, is going to be on August 17th. They're back here at Capilano's Kalahani Park. So Highlanders versus Canada, the next game here. So as we get set for a line-out, I assume they'll be looking for Carl Hunger. Not that they have a shortage of height throughout the forwards, but Carl Hunger's been as close to money this game so far as you can be in the line-out. So
a bevy of options here across the board, all tenured line-out options. It looks like they're going to go in and go right to Botcher.
Botcher.
Here we go, ball to Teal. And that, you figured it was going to happen at some, whoa, a big contact.
Tackle there from number 7, Maki Lemes from Brazil.
This is much better from this Brazil team,
That's
bringing a lot of low shots.
50 minutes.
Teal finds Biss. Biss trying to find a seam. He connects to Milani Nanai. Nanai up the middle. He's not even going to take it out of third gear. He's going to give it to Bowen.
Is that Bowen's third try of the day, or?
I'm not counting, but I imagine he'll tell me after.
I don't know if the Highlanders follow the same old rugby rule, but if you score 2 tries, all your teammates buy drinks for you, but if you score 3, then you have to buy for all your teammates.
Well, that's probably the easiest try of Deshaun Bowen's career.
He needs a 4th, or else he owes a bunch of beer.
We've seen him score some Stormers for the Canadian 7s team as well as the Canadian 15s team, the development team, and he's scored a couple really good ones, a nice one against Canada on the wing, but that's probably as easy as you like it, and you're just able to find these ball players in space. They're finding the seams. A good job from Biss, fighting through the line, getting his arms free and finding the offload. And Milani Nanai, again, we had a team poll actually the other day over who would be the fastest on the team, and Milani Nanai's name was selected a lot. And I wonder, I don't think I've ever seen him open up past second or third gear. And I know there's probably another level there when he wants to use it. Hopefully we'll. It doesn't seem like we haven't seen it yet. Maybe we'll see it this game or against that Canada team.
He was going pretty fast there, and it didn't look like he was trying, did it?
Yeah, and this is unfortunately, it's tough for this Brazil team. Again, that's the type of try scored against you that's really deflating. I know the scoreboard is reading 47-7, but it's hard to get back up after that. And I wonder if the proverbial dam is going to break.
What a kick from Maloney.
He has been very impressive at fullback.
Yeah, that was a kick from right around the 5-meter line next to touch. So that was a heck of a kick from Maloney. Something the Highlanders have done so well in the early going here, and what really I think has endeared them to the rugby community here in BC is such a good mix of players that have come through or are still involved with the BC rugby club setup. Players from all the universities, the major universities, the TWU, UBC, UVic, grads from all them, members from the UBC Old Boy Ravens, Burnaby Lake, Capilano, James Bay, maybe some Abbotsford guys.
There is a couple of former Abbotsford guys, and Noah Bain and Josh Teal in the field. Abbotsford, obviously, rugby hotbed.
It is. It always has been.
They've produced a lot of great players, and I would give a shout out to recent silver medalist Shalea Valenzuela from Abbotsford. They look to play again. Fine Biss on the outside. He pokes a little kick through. An interesting tactic. Brazil might now try and play back. They found a little bit of space here.
Couldn't put it to hand.
Oh.
Pick up by Biss.
And
there was just a lot of stuff happening over there.
I'd be remiss to say that was a Falcon. Biss trying to poke another one through, and the Brazilian player valiantly took it straight off the forehead, it seems.
In the face.
We will coming back to a scrum for the Highlanders, which again, I am sure that this Highlanders team is looking forward to. And onto the field is Thomas Davidson, a U of T grad, heading out to Ireland to go to med school. Tom is actually one of the, I'd have to say, one of the smartest people I've ever met. An incredible player, an incredible guy. We're not losing any type of push in this scrum. He's another big body, which I'm sure this Brazil team is not looking forward to as they drop another player back in the backfield.
Is that Carl Hunger off?
That is Carl Hunger off. A good shift by the man again.
Great shift. Leadership and execution. Did not make too many errors out there.
Brazil's opting to bring their near side winger up. There's a lot of space in the backfield. They are in their own 50. If they really wanted to, they could go 50-22. They won't. They're looking to go through Teal. They hit up Bowen just out the back. Oh, Bowen tries to find Nanai.
Forcing stuff.
Yeah, and when you get to this scoreline, it becomes a little bit easier to try and pull off things that maybe if the scoreline was a bit tighter, you would keep in the bag. Again, I see the vision there as a man who loves offloads himself. I see the vision of what Deshaun's looking to do. And unfortunately, just a Brazilian player does a really good job of that little bit of extra work on the ground, being able to kind of stop him from finding that connection. Again, if he finds that offload to Milani in space, it's going to be another try. Milani's gone through a lot of work today on his birthday.
That's right. It's his birthday. You'd mentioned that. So in that last, that last play that went wanting, obviously the Highlanders up by 42 points with 20 minutes left. It's a good time. Was that a set play that you guys have practiced that went, that went downhill, or is that just guys playing street ball, trying some stuff?
I'm mad. That is a set move, and I think it comes from the picture they've been showing a lot is Milani on that hard line with the 12 straightening up and usually having that 10 in motion, but they kept the 10 around. But they try to bring that winger in a hip ball off the hip to try and hopefully get that 12 and 13 in motion to try and find a little bit of a seam with that winger hitting full speed as he kind of comes out of the hidden area. So it didn't come off. The Brazil defender really did a good job of reading that. I think in the backfield you can actually see Noah Bain of the Utah Warriors and formerly of the Canadian 7 setup warming up. He's a player that the Highlanders are very excited to see join the program. A ray of sunshine, some would say, but he's another flyer. So this is the thing with this Highlanders team. As you bring on the bench, there is no drop off. The level is the same, and I think that's a luxury afforded to head coach Tom Larish, where he's able to kind of stack the bench even in a way that he's able to have constant pressure.
It's a great team, and it's been exciting to watch here the last few games. I guess the first few games, not so much the last few games. So,
well, look where they look to attack. Last time they hit up Shabatse in the middle of the field, and then tried to play Joe Locke on the a little bit wider, trying to get to stop the fold and hit on the outside. It looks like Brazil's brought some subs in. They go to Botcher again.
Off the top.
Pull it again. Huge over ball, Bowen in space.
They move the ball wide.
They're again getting into that outside seam. Botcher clears out, just stopping the fold. An unfortunate bobble again.
Gonna come up with a dope, went back.
Bossy on the outside channel. That's where he likes to eat. Again, a great athlete.
Brazil over the ball, they've turned it over.
Reimer's been really impressive since he's come on, just with the feistiness, I'd use the word. And is able to bring pressure from that 9 spot, playing that kind of that low sweep, just joining the line. It looks like the referee has advantage up. Brazil trying to get a little bit of front foot ball here.
The center there for Brazil, Silva, did a great job of keeping his feet and drug some defenders about 10 meters before turning the ball over.
Highlanders slow to fold, but the ball is bobbled. They'll come back for the advantage. Looks like Brazil's going to try and speed it up. That was a bit off the mark. I was about to say referee Julian Zussman will bring that back. That was about 6 meters off the mark. It looks like Jacob Bossy's down in the backfield. Hopefully he's okay. I see Noah Bain and Nick Blaine.
Bain and Blaine.
The Ain brothers. Look like they're warming up. I would imagine you might also see Connell Henchy from the Trinity University in Ireland taking the field. Or maybe no, it looks like Theo Espagnon. No, Bossy's back in the game. A little bit of a cramp, potentially a prop trick.
Yeah, I think he maybe took knee on knee against someone. So just a bit of a knee.
Bain and Blaine onto the field, and we bid adieu for Bowen, and I believe Biss. So a good game from James Biss, and a quite impressive game for Bowen, notching 3 tries. We'll see Bain and Blaine, both Ravens players. They play their club at the UBC Old Boys, who were, I believe, the Premier League champions this year.
They won the Roundsville Cup this year.
Brazil looking to find touch here in the corner. It'll be a Brazil lineout. Again, we'll see if they look to go to the back. They've been struggling with that back ball, but they haven't opted to change their tactics.
Now, Bossy came off, the number 2. Did they bring on Henshi or Espanol? Or
They brought on Espanol. It looks like they brought on Espanol. We can't see at the angle. They did bring in Espanol, so he'll be playing at the hook spot. I believe Theo can cover both loose head and hook. And he speaks fluent French.
That's good to know.
That's just an interesting fact.
That is an interesting fact. In Canada, don't we all?
Cole Kelly cannot speak fluent French. He can speak Irish, though, which I found out when he was speaking to me in Irish today. Oh, an unfortunate bobble at the back, but they clean it up. Great shot by Espanol. Sabate over the ball, and that looks to be a turnover.
Yeah, definitely turn that one over.
There's that man, Cole Kelly, getting through a lot of work covering both prop positions today.
He's had a really good game.
Oh, the bit of a heat on that pull pass. Teal under a lot of pressure. Look to slow it down. Try and set that platform. It's a little messy. I imagine they might look to try and clear here. And there's Blaine, another man who can play 10. Fielded by the 22.
That's Moraes. Nice run.
Cole Kelly making an absolute mess of that ruck, and you know what? It might be sight unseen to the casual viewer, but Cole Kelly's gone through an immense amount of work today. He's scrummaged really well. He's making his mark in those little margins around the rucks, making his hits, getting around the corner. He's been tasked to do a lot today from the Highlanders, and he's gotten through a ton of work. He should be very proud with his performance. I'm proud of him.
Substitution made for Brazil. Number 9, Guilherme Oliveira is off, and Nasser Lucas is coming on. So we'll see how some of these substitutions affects the scrum. It's been all Highlanders all day in the trenches.
Looks like they're shaping to have Milani and Nanai carry here. We'll see how the scrum goes.
Going to run it out of the 22, are they?
Well, you never know. Gets to Nanai, and he goes wide. Gets it to Milani. Bain's got tons of space out wide.
That was a heck of a pass, by the way.
Here he goes. Let's see him fly.
This is Bain?
Yeah, Brazil does a really good job getting him covered up. Good support by Blaine. Bain to Blaine connection. Botcher running a line. Picked up well by Wilson Valdez.
Just like Coach Tom Larish drew it up. A little backdoor pass, the over the shoulder.
They have some space out wide. Reimer to Teal. Teal finds it. Hits Teneke. Big carry right into the game from Peyton Teneke. Great work on the ground. Unsung heroes. Hits the hard line. What a line.
Great
what a
run
ball.
from Leonard.
Oh, an ankle tap. Saves it at the end. What an offload at the back. Again, play goes wanting. Big hit by Teal.
Yeah, Brazil can move this. They have numbers on the right.
It just looks like Brazil.
Some aggressive defense.
Brazil calling for a shot. I don't know what they're looking for there. That was just a big hit from Shabatse. Looks like the trainer's trying to make his way in. Again, big hits. The front row really should take their hat. We take our hats off to the front row. They're getting through huge work. A big hit from Peyton Teneke. Nico Leonard just making something out there in the 50-meter channel. Brazil just really struggling to put any pressure. They clear their lines, but it's not out of the woods yet.
Well, back to Maloney. He's got Bain on one side.
You think he's coming back to Bain. He's got tons of space. Bain footwork, tries to get through a seam. A big shot.
Great
Tommy
pass
D.
from Bain.
Tom Davidson, nice little hands. Cole Kelly in space. Tons of space. Here we go. Out the back. Blaine's got the over ball. He goes through the middle. They still have the overlap. Peyton Teneke in space. Oh.
There's a Brazil man down holding his calf.
Highlanders player back down in the backfield.
I get a chance to get a medic out there to take a look at him. Doesn't look like he's having a good time out there. Oh, just a cramp.
It looks like potentially some accidental head contact, head on head there in the ruck with Teal going in to source that ruck on the run from Peyton Teneke, or maybe just a big hit. The Brazil player was over the ball quite well. And he's up and he's back in. The Brazil player is still down. Well, we get this break. Thoughts on the second half?
Better second half for the Highlanders. A little more composed, taking the shots when they're given. I think that's what they need to do. Brazil, obviously, game's been out of hand since 5 minutes out of half. Chance of winning pretty much over. So I think they're doing a good job of trying to put some phases together. You know, even that last turnover that they had down inside their own 22, probably should have forced a pass and moved the ball a little bit there, but they held it in and took it to ground. So I guess a bit more composure from both sides. Highlanders, the better team on the day, certainly. A bit more polished, a lot more cohesive. And the quality of the spares that have been brought in on the red side has not been a drop at all. So.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. While we were chatting, Connell Henschey's into the game for Wilson Valdez, and Joe Locke shifts to 8. We will see what the Brazil team looks to do here. They've got they've sent a man to the blind side. Bain is very deep, but they'll have to make the pass across Reimer. Reimer's been very aggressive since he entered the game, and a big scrum.
Yeah,
and it's stolen off the base.
The number 9 there for Brazil.
Oh, Joe Locke.
Great.
Looks like he's going to go in for another one.
Great opportunity for Locke. Yeah, the put in there from the scrum half bounced off the front leg of their loose head. So obviously he's trying to get it back between the legs of the loose head, but missed, went off the shin, and bounced straight back into the second row of the Highlanders. So
Joe Locke's family was here watching the game, and I know his dad is in the crowd. I'm sure he's very proud of him for that one. He's had a great game, just getting through a ton of work, a lot of big carries. And you can always tell where he is. He's got those hair extensions in, his signature golden locks. Again, those are extensions.
Really?
Yeah, he will argue with me, but I know those are extensions.
Is he in a band or something?
I think with the hair? He does have the appearance of potentially being in a glam metal band. Who knows? Maybe an 80s tribute band. I don't know.
Something called like Steel Panther? Something like that?
He does look like he could be a member of Steel Panther. Panther, I should say. Mike Maloney has been great off the tee all game. He's really had a good game at fullback, and well, he had the one that unfortunately doinked off the post, but I think that was
a penalty, not a conversion.
Yeah, well, you were right. Again, egg on my face. Still a lot of rugby to get through here. This Highlanders team.
Should be the 8th try of the day for the Highlanders. Not that bonus points matter, I think, in this competition. But
yeah, the conversion is over.
Heck of a day for Mike Maloney here in front of the hometown crowd.
Yeah, the crowd loves Maloney, and Maloney loves the crowd. Just like an Australian up in Whistler, he loves BC.
Australian up in Whistler.
Well, look where Brazil looks to go. I imagine with past evidence, they're going to go to the right. They just haven't been able to get any type of cohesive line speed and put any pressure on these people catching the ball. Carl Hunger was doing a great job taking it on the full. And here again, the hips are turned. They're looking to put one on. Connell Henschey's lined up there. Connell Henschey actually represented Ireland as a hooker at the U20s.
Ooh.
Tom Davidson, it's just knocked on by Brazil. It's picked up here.
It's going to come back.
Joe Locke looking to find an offload. Nico Leonard, a linking run down the midfield. Things are getting a little bit messy from both sides. Teal picks it up. Ooh, wow. That was a bit of a high shot in the backfield.
Shoulder to the head.
I'm surprised referee Julianne Zussman missed that.
I think she did. The air in that height might have. It was unfortunate, not much malicious in it. He was going down as the other guy came across, but you are responsible for the safety of the man you're tackling.
Oh, and Noah Baines picked it up in the backfield here.
He's got one man to beat.
Oh, a wonderful cover tackle, not held. Offload found to Henschey, to Maloney. Theo Espanyol covering across.
Offloads galore here.
The Highlanders are flooding through. Oh, an unfortunate ball. Teal down in the backfield still. The Highlanders looking to go quick. Brazilian player down. Saba Shubatse going for the line. Surely the Brazil player is not rolling. Finds Teneke. Brazil bringing a lot of line speed now. They've got tons of space out wide. Nico Leonard wants that ball. Sure enough, a cross kick off the shin just as he drew it up.
Perfectly weighted. Another nice play from Melania Nanai on his birthday. So hopefully take a break here. Do we find out what's happened with Josh Teal?
I believe Milani's kids are in the crowd, and his wife Bertie. I imagine this is a perfect birthday gift I do know he is an avid gamer. His streaming channel, he tells me, is quite successful. And I'm sure he'll be. I honestly don't know. I do know. He is, I believe, the 370th ranked player in the world at NBA 2K.
No.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. I might be underselling him a bit.
370 would be super high.
Yeah, no, he says, I'm not going to do another accent. I've been told not to. He says that he can give anybody on the team hands. The only person who seems to think he could beat him is Deshaun Bowen. Onto the field is Alistair Marshall as Mike Maloney tosses the flag to the side.
Maloney's been perfect on the day. He hit one from about the same spot on the other side of the field, so still makeable, but this is a challenging kick. Ball's up, and it is in. Maloney doesn't miss, just dead-eye in.
Josh Teal down in the backfield. It looks like they will have a little bit of a break in play here. And a good sign here as he is now moving. It looks like he's going to be getting up. The crowd is giving the claps. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a head injury. He'll be helped off. We don't want to assume here, but this will be a little bit of a break here as he heads to the locker room.
No foul play, though. He's falling. No foul play.
Well, restart upcoming here from Brazil. Who have they brought on for your brother there?
I imagine we could see, I can't see who. I know Alistair Marshall was subbed back on. It might be James Biss back onto the field.
Okay.
I imagine we'll find out. No, it looks like it's Alistair Marshall has been subbed in on the wing. He was covering the back row and the back three as they find clearance there.
Maloney then to 10, or?
Yeah, I would assume it is Maloney to 10 or Nick Blaine. It looks like Nick Blaine's going to be playing at fullback, which means Maloney will be stepping. Oh,
No, Maloney's still in the back there.
yeah, it's a couple of fingers pointing each and every way, trying to figure out and sort it out as they can.
Going without it, going two fullbacks. It's a bold move. See how it works out.
Well, the Highlanders are. And there goes Nick Blaine. I was about to say the Highlanders are implementing a lot of cutting-edge trends here. Playing without a 10 might have been the most interesting as Joe Locke leaves the line out a little bit late. Julian Zuffman stops it. Just talking about the numbers, I guess there was a little bit of a change in terms of how many there were in there. Brazil looking at potentially add a late player as they step in. Number 5 might be the target at the back. A bit of an overthrow.
Brazil lineout is something they're going to want to work on before the next game.
Yeah, cleared up really well by Leonard. He looks to go in the backfield. I'm sure he probably wanted more legs on that kick. Oh, the bounce is nice. Leonard.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
On
Almost fell into the hands of Alistair Marshall, the pride of the Regina Rogues.
and otherwise known as Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, really.
Yeah, that is his signature name. Game's descending into a little bit of madness here. Some tired bodies on the Brazil side. The Highlanders still eager. Their subs coming in, looking to make a difference. A big hit from Alistair Marshall, and he's turned it over. Sam Reimers picked it up in the backfield. Looks like Bain switched wings here. I think, oh, and it's just stolen.
Good work at the breakdown from Brazil. That is one area that they've done pretty well at.
Brazil
Getting
has,
over the ball, getting low, getting their hands on it.
And I think that's one positive they'll be able to take away from this game. Their ability to kind of steal some ball, especially in the second half. Again, I think they're going to go away from this knowing that they, as a young team, as a developing team, they're going to have to probably iron out some of their set piece moves.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
And probably maybe just take a look at some of this defense. The Highlanders have been able to play around and try and get to the outside. They're tiring them out. They're being effective in a lot of their movements.
Bounced off a tree back into the field.
Just as he drew it up, Happy Gilmore. It looks like they've shifted Noah Bain to 13 and Blaine to 10. The Bain-Blaine connection stays true.
Brazil has subbed on Nicholas Roca from the Pasteur Rugby Club.
That's a better
He's
effort
on number
there.
18. Yeah, that was a good one. Balls come out. Nothing going in the maul, so they moved it out.
It's a better set piece move. I wonder if the option was probably at the back, as the Highlanders defense was a little bit tighter. Constantine it in there. A lot of space back in the right.
Lucas digging for it.
They're starting to play a little bit more, but good job by Tom Davidson shutting it down. The effort from the outside. They play behind. Nothing giving with this Highlanders defense. They have to be proud of their effort. It hasn't dropped off, especially from the starters. Cole Kelly going, looks like it's going to be an 80 from him.
Good for him. Not the easiest thing to do in the front row.
No, he's earned a couple burgers.
A couple Japa dogs.
Yeah, understandable. He'll see me there. Looks like Brazil looking to clear here. You think they probably would have liked a little bit more length on. Good chase.
Yeah,
Maloney in motion again. He offloads it
Ooh.
back across his body, and it's that
Should
man
be a
again
try.
in space. Yeah,
Scores it
smooth as
himself.
you like.
Smooth was the word.
Another birthday gift from Alani and I.
Yeah, not to keep ganging up on Brazil, but that's another area that they really need to work on. The tactical kicking has been wanting.
And I think what you can see there is that it just they don't have a very viable kick chase right now, and I think that's just from tired bodies.
If you could please bring any empty cans, bottles, or garbage up by the containers by the top of the stands here, be very much appreciated.
As I was saying, a lot of
If you have any bottles or cans, by the way, Jake. you should bring it up
that's for
upstairs.
me. I'm just trying to get my recycling up.
Brought in my recycling from home just for the occasion.
Yep, everyone's been donating for me. It's it's been a disjointed kick chase from this Brazil team. There's a lot of tired bodies. I'm sure they're not too pleased. I don't think this is a full representation of what we've come to expect from Brazil on an international side. Again, a developing team. This Highlanders team is just being able to exploit a lot of weaknesses, I'd say, in that kick chase, and they have a lot of threats in the backfield, and they're just being able to kind of make people miss. When you have weapons like Nico Leonard and Melanie and I playing into that space, it doesn't make that kick chase easy. You have to have a pinpoint boot, and they've opted for a little bit too much height, I'd say, instead of a little bit of length, especially when. And he's
Another
done it
great
again.
kick.
Snuck it in on that.
That
left
is
side.
Maloney's 20th point in conversions this game.
I'm glad you've been counting that.
I have.
not.
Well, it's been easy. You just take the score, divide it by 7.
Math is hard. Math is hard.
That is the Highlanders' 10th try of the day. So couldn't really have gone better for the Highlanders on attack. The second half has been clinical.
If you're a fan of running rugby, this is the game for you. It's been just a pretty open-ended attack. When the Highlanders players say you want to see fast rugby, they're going to show you fast rugby. This is that they're following up on their promises.
Restart from Brazil. Into the hands of Joe Locke. He's going to put it to Maloney. He's going to kick it deep. High and into touch. It's a nice kick. Bounces off the ceiling here at Klahani Park. Off the roof. Still bouncing around up there.
Gave me a little bit of fright here up in the booth. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Milani and I is a super rugby player, has many caps, I believe. For
Crusaders
both
and the Blues, I believe.
Yeah, and both his brothers, I both played for the Sevens, New Zealand Sevens team. And there's a reason he's a super rugby level player. You can see it here. His processing speed, his ability to use his footwork, his ability to play in space is just. It looks like it's on another level here, and he's showing that he's probably one of the most class players in BC.
Yeah, Brazil got to go back to the drawing board for the lineouts. Great run there from number 17, Theo Espanol, from Richmond, BC.
You'd have to say you can't question the Brazilians' effort levels. They are just trying to put their bodies on the line. They've been able to string together a couple bigger hits. Great hands by Maloney in the backfield, but it's just they're just a bit outmatched right now. The pace that the Highlanders are playing at is just it's hard to keep up with it, especially when you're in the back foot the whole time. Great ball. Tom Davidson finding seams. He's been busy since he came on.
Beautiful working contact from Melania and I, by the way. Shifts in contact, gets an arm free, gets the ball out.
Joe Locke's going to tell us all after this game that he should be a natural-born winger. That hair flowing down the wing. He looks like he belongs on that wing.
He's sweating a lot for a winger.
Yeah, he is sweating a lot, and you can see extensions. I'm
Don't
telling you.
forget the Canada Highlanders game, August 17th here at Kalani Park. Mark it on your calendar. And please bring any empties, bottles, cans, trash.
We'll set up for another scrum here.
Containers by the top of the stands here. Thank you.
If you're just tuning in, it's been all Highlanders in the scrum. Brazil has switched out the front row. So we'll see if that has an impact. A lot of new players. The big second row. Kawi Guiamares, apologies for not saying that right, having a bit of a cramp.
The one thing you have to say too is it's not just the scrum. The scrum's been going backwards for the Highlanders, which is amazing. But the pressure that the back line is being able to is being afforded, it's just not giving Brazil any type of platform to be able to attack off of. They're constantly pressuring those ball decision makers. They're gambling a bit. They're allowing them to maybe play around them, but they haven't been able to do it. The skills off of a backwards scrum, it's hard to kind of execute.
Tough to go forward when your scrum is going backwards. And yeah, Highlanders just larger. Don't have the weights here, but pretty much bigger at every position.
I'd have to estimate Joe Locke's an easy 250. He doesn't look it, but he is a stone.
Got the hair off. He's 248.
Yep. He's trying to make fighting weight. He might have to.
Well, Brazil want to front up on this one. Getting near the end of the game. This might be the last scrum. You want to finish on a high.
Cole Kelly already looks like he's got position here.
Yeah.
There he goes. Yeah.
Big push. Taken by Joe Locke.
Kicked down the blind side.
Nice run by him.
Good job by Sabasavante to get it off the back of the scrum and support. See what they're going to do here. Connell Henchy, great feet, pulls it out the back. Oh, Nick Blaine right through the middle. Warm butter and knife.
Brazil comes up. Bain gets a pass off. It's Alistair Marshall digging in for the try.
Regina is going to be celebrating tonight.
Yes. From Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan.
You know what? I have to say he's earned his nickname Nighthawk. I can't tell you why. I've never heard the origin story, but the ability to play open side flanker, blind side flanker, and on the wing is it's an interesting combo. It gives Tom Larish another option off that bench.
Bringing crutches over to the Highlanders bench. Who went out with the leg injury? Is that Dutois?
I might be Dutois.
I don't know.
It seems like Dutois is sitting down. Again, we can't assume up here. We are a bit far away, but
I jumped to conclusions, and I believe they need to amputate it.
Well, we're hoping that Giuseppe is going to be okay carrying forward to this game. Again, Canada will be playing against the Highlanders here at Kalani Park on August 17th.
So how many of the guys in this team are involved in the Canada team that you guys will be playing, or any?
I imagine, the official team list is not out. I imagine there might be one or two. Former Highlanders players, Matt Klimchuk, Dakota, and Talon McMullen will also be in that squad if I was a betting man, which I am. So we'll probably be seeing a little bit of former Highlanders versus current Highlanders battle as Maloney lines up.
Nice kick, and again, that's in. 11 for 11.
And that is the game. Final score, 77-7.
Heck of a game. Jake, your thoughts on the second half? You asked me that a little earlier. Obviously, the Highlanders are scoring more than a point a minute here, I think, in the second half. What changed?
I think they're just getting a little bit more front foot ball. The rucks are a little bit cleaner. Sam Reimer did a really good job of picking up the pace, and they're just able. I think this Brazil team was not able to kind of play that 80-minute game. They were tired out in that first half. A lot of effort from that starting group with the Highlanders, and the reserves were able to come in and capitalize. I think the boys could definitely hold their heads up high. Some great defensive efforts, and I think that obviously the scoreline favors the attack, but the defense is what made it all happen. A lot of these points off of turnovers created from stout defense, and I think there's a couple players who could definitely keep their heads up high. I would say the front row were incredibly impressive. I'd have to point to my man Cole Kelly for doing a lot of the dirty work, playing a full 80 across both positions in the both prop spots, a couple big carries, and again, Nico Leonard putting on a show when he got the ball. I mean, you could probably go through the whole roster and pick out a good positive thing, which I'm sure that head coach Tom Larish is going to be really happy with. When
you win by 70, everybody looks pretty good. So let me ask you this. Highlanders, your man of the match, forward and backs. Who do you got and why?
I'm going to go with the the starting 7, open side flanker Joe Locke. Got through a lot of work, a lot of big carries, constant pressure defensively, hair flowing in the wind. As a person who grew up a little bit in Wales, I have to go with my another Welshman. And then in the backs for me, it's hard to pick because I think across the board everybody had a great game. But Milani Nanai showed why he's ahead of everybody in BC. He's got the resume, and again, he comes out and proves it, scoring points in bunches, creating anytime he gets the ball, and just showing why he's an open field threat. What about you?
Yeah, I would have said the same. I would have said Locke or Kelly in the forwards. My heart would have been taking me to Cole Kelly. It's difficult to play at a fast pace in the front row for 80 minutes, so I would have said Cole Kelly, but Joe Locke would have had an honorable mention for me. But we'll go with Joe Locke, and in the back, Milani Nanai for me was outstanding all day. Some of the little things he does with the ball are just things that don't get taught here in Canada, and he does them effortlessly without thinking, just out of habit. So I also would have given an honorable mention, though, to Mike Maloney, who was flawless off the boot and pretty flawless around the field, whether he was, exiting the ball from inside the 22, moving the ball, stepping up into fly half when needed. So those are my man of the match as well, Joe Locke and Milani Nanai, with honorable mentions to Cole Kelly and Mike Maloney.
It's quite the luxury, though, just to cut. I'm not needing to cut you off, and you could probably go through the most of the team sheet and find an argument for a lot of people to be man of the match.
You win by 70, everybody's going to look pretty good. The Brazil side, man of the match in the forwards.
I probably would. I'd have to come for the substitute who came on at number 19, Lucas Areb. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Got through an immense amount of work. Was great in the.
Goes by Hans apparently.
Oh, Hans! I should read your notes, which says it clearly there. I think he got through an immense amount of work. And then I believe Sergio Luna scored that big try to get Brazil on the board. And when he had the ball, he looked dangerous in space.
Yeah, I would have done the same. Honorable mention to number 5, the big man, Kawi Guimarães, who played hard the whole 80 minutes, went down with a cramp, got back up, and continued on. So final score 77-7. We're back here. Highlanders back at Klahani Park on August 17th when they take on the Canadian national team. So my anchor here, Jake, might be involved in that game. Any final words, Jake, before we sign off?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I think the constant support of an opportunity like this, the Vancouver Highlanders, will continue to grow rugby in Canada. And I think that the more viewers we get and the more we spread out rugby just in general, the better it is for all of us involved. So thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I believe we had just around 900 viewers there before half, so be interesting to see what the final tally is here for the Watch Live. And for everybody that watches later on, we thank you very much for that, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.